So cognitive issues like problems with thinking, remembering, and reasoning obviously should be of concern to you if you experience those with one of your loved ones. So the first thing that you need to do is really reach out to your loved one's primary care physician, schedule an appointment so that you can go in, visit, and see if maybe there's some underlying causes going on that may not be dementia, like a urinary tract infection or a vitamin deficiency or some other type of illness that's going on that would create a state of delirium that really mirrors some of the symptoms with dementia. So once you've done that, and that's been ruled out, then you need to reach out to a specialist, somebody that really works with these types of issues on a daily basis, like a neurologist or a geriatrician or a geriatric psychiatrist. These are folks that really understand dementia, the different types of dementia, and they can help you with the process to get them diagnosed with a specific type of dementia and then help you develop a plan of action to do that. And some of those tests include cognitive testing, there are some blood tests, there's also some genetic testing that can be completed and some brain scans that are out there that are pretty accurate in determining the type of dementia that your loved one might have. People with dementia eventually they're gonna be in a situation where they're gonna need more help with everyday normal activities. And dementia is a progressive disease, so it's gonna get worse over time, unfortunately. And so they're gonna need some help with bathing, dressing, grooming, even reminders to take their medicine. So there are a lot of things that you need to think about and consider. And when you think about bathing, for example, routine and consistency is very important with a person that has some type of dementia. So we want to make sure that we keep those activities of daily living at the same time of the day, and hopefully with the same person providing that care so they have that consistency there. Because when they get out of that routine, they become sometimes more uncomfortable, agitated, and it can really lead to other problems for sure. We may also want to write down some reminders to remind them that they have appointments with doctors and times to take medicine and the different types of medications that they need to take at a specified time. And we want to make sure that we're always respectful and very gentle in that process. These are adults that didn't need help with these types of normal everyday activities, but now they do. So it's a very sensitive type of situation that we need to be aware of. And we need to make sure that we allow the person with dementia to do as much as they can on their own without us necessarily doing that for them. And lastly, with care, we probably need to think about some different clothing for the individual. Maybe some loose-fitting clothing that's more comfortable. It's easier to put on with elastic waistbands and shoes without shoelaces because they can become untied and become a trip hazard. So Velcro or zippers on shoes can also be really helpful. Communication's going to become more and more difficult throughout the process and the progression of that disease. And the reason for that is they have trouble remembering what they're going to say. They have word finding problems, things of that nature. And there are some types of dementia as they progress, and even in the early stages with some of these dementias, they totally lose the ability to verbally communicate and to understand verbal communication as well. So it becomes a real issue and a lot of things to consider there. So we need to make sure that as we're working with these people, we reassure them that it's okay, because it's going to take longer for them to communicate than it always has in their life. And we have to be patient and really provide them with an opportunity to communicate in their way. And we want to really encourage that two-way communication for as long as they can do that. It's extremely important to do that. And Initially, sometimes when we get later into the disease process, it's important for us to introduce ourselves every time so they're not wondering who we are, because maybe they've lost that ability to recognize us as they're looking at us. And of course, the thing that we don't ever want to say is, "Don't you remember who I am?" So when it comes to safety, I think it's really important to make sure that we remove hazards and enhance other safety features within the home or the environment where they're living. So for example, if they have stairs in the home, it can be very dangerous to navigate those stairs. So we want to make sure that we have some sort of material down and we don't have bare wooden stairs. We have put down permanently some pieces of carpet or some other non-slip material so that it's safer for them to negotiate. And what we may also want to do is take some colored tape and place it along the edges of the stairs so it's easier to see that transition from step to step and help them more easily negotiate the stairs. We may also want to take some safety plugs and put them in outlets so that it's not a hazard for them. Also, trip hazards, big problem in the house, to make sure that we do a good, thorough walk around and we're looking for things that could potentially be trip hazards, like throw rugs, extension cords, low-sitting footstools, pets, all of those types of things. And we make sure that the things that can be removed are from the home so that it's safer to negotiate. And we make sure that we have good lighting throughout the home so that it's easier for them to see and navigate through the home. And household chemicals, really important that we take those household chemicals that could potentially be harmful if they're ingested by the individual with dementia, and we put them in a container or a cabinet that is lockable, that we can lock. So eating healthy and staying active, it's important for all of us, and it's especially important for the person with dementia as they progress through the disease. Staying active and moving around just really helps with the whole process of circulation in the body. We need to consider activities that they can still perform, that they have the ability to perform. In order to do that, sometimes there's some reluctance to get started with those activities, so it may be beneficial for us as the loved one providing care to really start the activity or join in and encourage them to become involved with it. We also want to add music as much as possible. Music is very beneficial for the person with dementia. It needs to be music from their era, but it brings a sense of comfort and also really helps reduce agitation if they're agitated in some way. If we can take walks together, that's a great activity if it's safe to do so. Once we reach the point that it's not safe to walk or we lose the ability to walk, we can certainly sit in a chair and do exercises together as well as an alternative. And we want to make sure that the foods and other things that we have are easy to make and prepare and that they're healthy for the individual.